Hey all, so if you've been watching the channel for a while, you'll know that I like making video essays on specific games that I've fallen in love with. Games that I've made video essays on include God of War 3, Katana Zero, Metal Hellsinger, Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, and eventually Hi-Fi Rush. In these videos, I completely break down a video game and explain why I like it so much. The problem with this is there are so many games coming out that have captivated me recently, and it's hard to make a video essay out of all of them. Because of this, I want to try making smaller reviews for games that I've ended up falling in love with. These aren't on the same level as my video essays, but it'll also help to fill the content drought that comes with making video essays, so it'll still be something in between some of the larger videos that I make. So if you like this, just let me know, and if you do like it, I'll try and make more of them. If you're as big into the action RPG scene as I am, you've definitely heard of two of the biggest games of the genre, Nioh and Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Nioh is Team Ninja's take on Dark Souls, but with the fast-paced combat that the studio is known for. I personally could never get far enough into Nioh to enjoy it myself, but I do know that a lot of people rightfully love it. Sekiro, on the other hand, is in my top 3 favorite video games of all time. If you want to know why, just watch my video. I'm only saying all this because Team Ninja decided to mix the best aspects of both Nioh and Sekiro into a game called Wo Long Fallen Dynasty. Like I said, this game combines everything that made the aforementioned game so good. I'm just gonna keep my praises for the actual review itself, so let's just jump into it. I'll start with a rough synopsis of the game. Wo Long Fallen Dynasty was published by Koei Tecmo and developed by Team Ninja. This game, like Sekiro, takes place in a romanticized historical setting. Sekiro took place in feudal Japan, but also had fictional elements like immortality and the Infested. Wo Long's setting is the Three Kingdoms era of dynastic China, specifically the Han Dynasty. Here, however, China is infested with demons and dark magic. You play as a nameless militia soldier who has to fight against the odds and awaken the power within. Honestly, from what I played, there really isn't much to say about the story. It's just decent. It doesn't really stand out like Sekiro's story, and it isn't terrible like Devil May Cry 2's. It's really just enough. The supporting characters are well written enough, the stakes are high enough, the main antagonist is threatening enough. That's all the story really boils down to. All I want to say is I advise against playing in the English dub, as some of the dialogue comes off as really corny.
Master! You shouldn't overexert yourself.
Hearing you say that really makes me wish I was young again.
Unlike Sekiro, there is a lot of customization available in Wo Long. For starters, you can create your own character using probably the most in-depth character customization I've ever seen. You can even change how decayed your teeth are. You also have 5 virtues to level up: fire, wood, metal, earth, and water. The wood virtue affects your HP and spirit. Fire affects how much spirit you gain and how much is expended when using martial arts. Earth increases your maximum armor weight and the amount of spirit gained when deflecting an attack. Metal increases the sustainability and efficiency of your wizardry spells. Water increases your stealth and the spirit consumption that comes with deflecting. During combat, you can summon different wizardry spells that will either deal direct damage or buff you and your allies. You can increase your defense, summon a rock wall, cast a lightning bolt, or shoot a ball of fire. You also technically have martial arts you can use, but I rarely ever found myself using them. Also, you can summon up to 5 Chinese mythological beasts to aid you. They can either directly aid you in combat or boost the stats of you and your allies for a short duration. I don't know why, but I found myself having much more fun with the combat here than in Nioh. The combat in this game leans far more heavily into Sekiro with its focus on deflecting and the spirit system, which is essentially this game's posture system. I've also seen people online say that this is less like both of these games and more like Team Ninja's other games, Strangers of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin, and honestly, I can see it. Only problem is I haven't played it. Please, Epic and Square, either discount the game or move it over to Steam. Those are the only 2 conditions that'll make me play it. Alright, the point is, this game has one of the more fun gameplay feels out of all the Souls-likes out there. I originally touted this game as one of the few Souls-likes that'll push the genre in a new direction, and I still stand by that statement. The combat is fast and satisfying, enough to bring me a good amount of satisfaction after beating a boss. I do, however, have a few criticisms. The first, and this is more of a nitpick than a complaint, but it's the armor system. I've never been a fan of systems in games that have stat-heavy gear and armor. Even if it's a game that I genuinely do enjoy playing, I won't like any type of gear or armor system. Most of the time, they have needlessly specific buffs and debuffs that bloat the screen and confuse and overwhelm me. Fuck you, bitch! Okay.
How the fuck did that not kill me?
Wolong, I feel, has one of the better armor systems out there, but I'll still never be a fan of it in general. Another is that more than a few of the mainline bosses aren't really that fun to fight. The first three in terms of mechanics and design don't really feel that unique to me. From their moveset to their arena, it felt like I already fought them before. And the worst part is, some of the mainline bosses like Gen Yu become common enemies after fighting them, so the enemy variety does end up being kind of lacking. The last little detail I have is that Wolong does have online play. You can either play co-op with 2 other players or invade another player's world, which I'm pretty sure Dark Souls has. I don't have an opinion on this as I don't normally play online in games like this, but just know that the option's there. All I'll say about this is that a guy did invade my world and I absolutely fucked his shit up. Oh, what the fuck? Some bitch is invading my world. No. Come here, you son of a bitch. Jojo, you're my fucking master at this game. Bitch. Aha! To end this segment, the core gameplay is really good. If you, like me, are looking for more fast-paced Souls-likes, this is definitely one to consider. Now, this is a section that I usually never have in my video essays, but I wanted to try doing it for reviews like this. I want to talk about the technical aspects of this game, mostly optimization. I'll start this off like this. All the footage you're seeing is from the Steam version of Wolong. Also, here are all of my specs. My CPU is an Intel 11th Gen i7-11700. My GPU is a NVIDIA RTX 3060 Ti, and I have 16 GB of RAM. Also, my OS is Windows 10, but that probably doesn't matter. An oddly recurring theme I've seen with AAA titles in the past year is that there's a huge lack of optimization on PC. From the Callisto Protocol to Forspoken to Dead Space to Wild Hearts, all of these games seem to have been super focused on their PS5 versions and completely neglected the PC side of things. Don't get me wrong, Dead Space is great and I had fun with what little I played Wild Hearts, but the performance makes it hard for me to truly enjoy these games. Because of this, I was really worried about the performance Wolong would have, and honestly, it's alright. I did have a few crashes here and there, but most of those are from the demo and happened because I had another CPU-intensive activity in the background like OBS or Discord. If it's just the game itself running, I can get pretty good frames in with most of the default settings enabled, bar ambient occlusion, and motion blur. I've seen other people say they've had trouble running the game, so it seems to be hit or miss for the most part. Sorry I don't have much to say in this section, it's just that the optimization has been so good for me I can't really comment on it. After playing some more, I do have one small criticism I want to toss in here. I hate how my graphic settings will never save if I go and change any of them. I always have to make sure that I go and disable ambient occlusion because there's no save or apply option. Another thing I want to touch up on is the controls. From what I've heard, the mouse and keyboard controls are really bad, and that's the only reason why the game has a mostly negative score on Steam. To that, I just want to say, this is a Koei Tecmo game. Literally, what were you expecting? KBM controls have never been good with their games on PC. If you play the game with a controller, probably the way that it's meant to be played, you'll most likely have a good time. My only issue is that guarding and deflecting are two completely different buttons. Guarding is the left bumper, and deflecting is the circle button. Why? In Sekiro, guarding and deflecting are the same button, you just hold this to guard, or you press it before an attack lands to deflect. The only other time I can see this making sense is in a game like Hi-Fi Rush. There is no actual block button in Hi-Fi Rush, so dodging and parrying are completely different buttons, and that in my opinion makes sense. That's really the only complaint that I have in regards to the controls. I did get used to it, but it did take a while and it made the left bumper completely useless. From what I've seen online and from the actual dev team, the average length of Wolong is about 40 hours, but I've seen a few people say it would take 10 to 15 hours. I haven't finished the game yet, but I will say that 40 hours in my opinion is about the perfect length for a game like this. On my very first playthrough, it took me maybe 40 to 50 hours to beat Sekiro, but only because I suck at the game. Instead of making a convoluted scoring metric, I'll just do a simple out of 10 score. For Wolong Fallen Dynasty, I give it an 8 out of 10. The game overall is really good, and if you're looking for a new Souls-like, I definitely recommend it. If you're interested in picking it up, it's on Xbox Game Pass for Xbox and PC. Other than that, it's on PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox One and Series, and Steam. The base game costs $60, but there's a digital deluxe edition that costs $85. The digital deluxe edition contains the full game, a digital art book and soundtrack, and a season pass. The season pass has 3 upcoming DLC expansions. These are the Battle of Zhongyuan, scheduled for June, Conqueror Jiangdong, scheduled for September, and Upheaval in Xinjiang, scheduled for December. If this game at all interests you, there is a demo available. This covers the first 2 chapters, and save data is carried over from the demo to the full game. You also get a neat little helmet for completing it. Depending on when I upload this video, the demo should still be public. It doesn't end until March 27th at 3 AM EST. Convert that to whatever time zone you have. Thanks for watching this. This is another sort of experiment of mine just to test out the waters. If you like these smaller reviews, I'll try and do some more of them throughout the year. As of right now, I'm only really looking forward to Final Fantasy 16, Spider-Man 2, Lies of P, and Mortal Kombat 12, and those are probably the only games I make dedicated reviews for. There are some other games like Tekken 8, but I'm not sure I can make videos out of those. I'll also give a bit of a progress update on the Hi-Fi Rush video. For now, all I can say is that I have officially started working on it. I have a script being written and a few tracks recorded, so give me about 3 months and I'll have it done. Alright, see ya. Actually, one more thing before I leave. A couple days ago, a good friend of mine made a song and music video based off of the recently released Atomic Heart. Here's a quick sample of it.
We thought the future was in our hands, our land, dreams of overcoming the limitations of man. Then it was torn apart by electric ran, steel hands, cranes, contraptions that went awry.
Call it shameless, but it would mean a lot to both of us if he went and showed some love and support on it. Plus, he needs to make back the money he lost by being peer pressured into buying the Doomslayer skin. Whoa.
Oh my god, Tyler! You blasted me so far into the storm!
Tyler, you killed him! He's actually gonna die.
No, I'm not. I'm the Doomslayer.
Oh, shit.
Doomslayer never dies. I'm dead.
Oh shit.
No!
Try doing it again!
You son of a bitch. I hate you.